Hello and welcome to this Enlisted video. I have just, I've been awake for a few hours, but I just saw Making Enlisted a Better Place, number 69. No relevance to anything. Light work, no reaction. Let's get right into it. Each issue of our series focuses on certain aspect of the game or a particular mechanic, in which we correct smaller but noticeable bugs and add new interesting features. And let me just say, the picture I'm looking at right now has an RD44, an MG42, a hide and a Type 100 MG, so let's get right into it. I came here to shoot properly. Recently, you noticed that kills with the M7 and M8 grenade launchers were not counted as grenade kills, but now everything should be in order. A similar problem was observed with the Solothurn S18-100. Now kills with it count as special weapon kills. Okay, nice, good bug fix. We increased the recoil control of the Fedorov MG to match that of the Fedorov Aftermath. Now it will be more comfortable to shoot with. What? Okay, first off, we buffed the Fedorov. We made it 13.9 damage. Insane. Hands down, it was already the best assault rifle in the game for the assaulter class. Then it was definitely the best assaulter rifle in the game because you buffed it. Then you buffed the Fedorov MG to match the Fedorov Aftermath. You gave it the damage, but then you also dropped it to BR4. So it's pay to win. It's definitively a pay to win weapon. It's one of the best weapons in the entire game, not in BR5 but instead in BR4, which can be used in a BR4 lineup to see BR3 players, and that's nuts. On top of, if you in the future separate BR4 from BR5, this gun can be used and never see a BR5 rifle, and it's absolutely absurd. So increasing the recoil of it even more this has got to be one of the most pay to win squads in the entire game. And you just removed it from the shop to increase FOMO. I'm calling this out. This is really dirty. I don't know why we keep buffing a weapon that's in a premium squad that then we move down a tier to make pay to win and keep buffing it. I don't know why this gun needs more buffs. It's already an amazing rifle. It already has like no recoil anyway. Anyway, let's move on. While aiming with the M1941 Johnson LMG, the eye position was too close to the rear sight compared to the rifle. We moved the camera back to make these two weapons similar. Sure? Isn't this is technically a nerf to the so this is like a nerf and a buff. So it will be more difficult to hit shots at long range with the Johnson LMG because you're positioned further back. It's a smaller target. But it could be seen as a buff to the Johnson LMG because the further you are away from the sights, the less perceived recoil you get. Now this doesn't actually mean there's less recoil, but you will correct less and avoid overcorrecting for the recoil. So this is like a weird change. Sure. Anyway, the MP28, MP28 Extended, MP28 7.65 and the Beretta M38/42's rate of fire have been increased to 550 rounds per minute. They are now more deadly in close combat. 550, how much buff do these weapons get? Give me 1 second here. Okay. So all of these weapons are going from 570 rate of fire up to 632.5. That'll probably get rounded to like 630 or something. That's huge. Dude, this is so big for BR2 Axis. You don't understand how big this is for BR2 Axis. Now this isn't the 690 rate of fire that the other factions get access to, and then in the case of like the Russians with the PPS-43 are going a bit higher, but less damage. So this isn't 690, but this is still like above 620. This is a decent change. I don't think this is like fully solving the issue, but maybe the issue when using these weapons is like just low enough that it's like fine. The 50 round MP28 for Japan, this is also quite a nice buff. I wonder, honestly, this might be actually worth taking over the Type 2A. Now you lose the accuracy, the recoil, and the damage, or I don't know about the damage, but the rate of fire, the Type 2A is 690, so it's a little bit stronger, but you're now getting a 50 round magazine, so maybe this like absolutely shreds. I don't know too much about the MP28 and MP28 Extended. I don't know what those guns really are. I don't think that those are tech tree guns. I could be wrong, but anyway, the big thing here is the 50 round for the Japan, and Axis finally gets like a good, maybe not good enough, but like good BR2 SMG in the tech tree. The FG42 and FG42-2, as well as their variants, have not been left unchanged either. Their base damage has been increased to 12.7. Let's fucking go! 12.7? What's the base damage on an AVT-40? Is that also 12.7? Yes! Dude, so good. Axis BR5 is finally good. Additionally, the FG42 and FG42 with grenade launchers rate of fire has been increased to 900 rounds per second. I'm a prophet. This is basically all that I asked for. These, like, 2 changes will make the FG42 good. I still think they need tiny little buffs more, but like, the damage to one-shot Soviet body armor, and the FG42 version 1 having the crazy rate of fire, that's so good, that's so fun. It's really nice to see that those weapons getting love. Oh my god. Next, 5 rockets is good, but 6 is even better. Now you can carry 1 more rocket with the Panzerfaust 100. What? What is going on? This isn't needed, but like, sure, I'll take extra anti-tank capability, I guess. Sure, that's a good change, I guess. I don't think we needed it, but like, we'll take it. The Golden Beretta M1934 is a pistol that you want to admire, but due to a bug, the soldier holding it was standing in an unnatural pose in the hangar. We fixed it. Sure, I mean, I think Enlisted actually does have a niche for ahistorical weapon camos, like golden weapons, or maybe something interesting, maybe just having an option in the game to like turn that off for people who don't want to see it. But like, I would spend money on weapon skins, and I want to admire them, add an inspect feature. I want to weapon inspect during the game. First off, that looks really cool. That's like every first person shooter these days has a weapon inspect animation. Why doesn't Enlisted? Second off, that would be really nice for making thumbnails. But that's just me as a internet YouTube beggar. Next, the M10 GMC can hardly be called a tracked firing point, but the loader clearly thought otherwise. Worry not, he won't be able to fire his personal weapon inside the M10 GMC anymore. Okay, that's really funny. So you would run up trying to put a TNT charge on an M10 GMC and the loader would just shoot you with a pistol through the through the metal? That's really funny. That's a nice bug fix. It's nice that little things like that are getting fixed. I hope that we kind of see that more for like other vehicles, and maybe like tone down how deadly passengers in vehicles are. It's crazy that like an APC truck can drive past at like 60 kilometers an hour, and then like half the crew can lean out and hit you perfectly accurate at 150 meters. Like, that's a bit crazy. Up next, last year we made several improvements to the rider class, but the changes didn't end there. We just moved all motorcycles to BR1. Okay, that's pretty cool. It'd be nice. Yeah, that's nice. Plus, they now unlock earlier than mortars. How does that work? Did they move them in the tech tree? Dude, if they are moving stuff around in the tech tree, that's crazy technology. So the BR of these squads now only depend on the weapons they carry. That's really nice. Shooting is an integral part of the game, but we haven't forgotten about melee enthusiasts either. In this update, we have halved the cooldown of the melee charge, so now you can show the power of cold steel to your enemies more often. Dude, this update is crazy! Dude, everything is there cooking right now. Next, everything should be in its place. The experience required to fully unlock a squad now depends on where its weapon or vehicle is located in the research tree. This also fixes the situation where some squads required more experience than others in the early tiers of the research tree. The Jet Power update changed the BR of several vehicles and weapons. This led to a mismatch between their new BR and their price that we had to correct manually. From now on, this will automatically change, which will help avoid similar situations. Amazing, hopefully that doesn't break. This is like a new era of like, the devs are like doing things that they said they couldn't do in the past. This is, I don't know if you can tell by the tone of my voice, this is so exciting. We also have new complaints against dishonest players clearer by changing the reason. Unsporting behavior to use of unauthorized software. This way you will know exactly why you are reporting a player. Okay, so we can report people for foul language, abuse. Abuse is not very clear on what that means. That could just be like foul language. Anyway, use of unauthorized software, so that's for cheating. You can report for team killers. Passive behavior, so AFK. I mean, I would just put it like a dash AFK there. Chat spamming. Oh, if we can report people for radio spamming too, that would be really nice. And other. Okay, so nice. Do you have unused parachutes, radio, or knives in your inventory and their presence bothers you? No problem. You can now sell them for 5 silver. A clean warehouse is worth it. Honestly, I like to keep all of those things. Just for the flex. Like, keeping all the like knives or the starter carbines is just like a weird, it's not a flex, but it's just funny to see how many you get over time. So personally, I won't be selling these things for 5 silver. I don't think I'd ever be desperate enough to do that, but it's a nice option to have, I guess. For players using a gamepad, we have added a small improvement. When you sell something, there will now be a shortcut for the all available button. Damn, they are cooking with this update. We also fixed a bug where both versions of the Tiger 2 H's winter camo were highlighted in the customization menu when one of them was selected. Sure, nothing to complain about so far, maybe like minor nitpicks, but everything so far is like great. New mission! And then there's a picture here of Myanmar in Burma. This update also expands the lists of missions in Burma. Commanders who prefer the US or Japanese armies can now meet in Myanmar Destruction Mission. Okay, nice. So that means we have Conquest, there is Confrontation, there's now Destruction, there's Invasion. What's the only one that's left? Assault? Yeah, just don't add Assault. Thanks. We're also now looking at supply box changes, which is in reference to paratroopers. So last week we told you about the preliminary changes to the paratroopers supply boxes. Based on your feedback, we have adjusted their contents and are now ready to show you the final version. Okay, so this is really cool because this is reflecting the actual match you end up in. So if you're a BR1 and then you get in a BR1 to 2 game, you'll get a certain box. If you're playing as BR2 and you get into a BR1 game, you'll have that box. But then if you up tier to BR3, you'll get a different box. So this is really nice and really helps to balance these paratroopers because some of these boxes were a bit ridiculous. The main examples were the BR1 Beretta M38 paratroopers for the Axis, as well as the Soviet ones you can buy in the tech tree with the AS-44 Model 5. Because that's a tech tree weapon, you can change that to any weapon you want. You can change that weapon basically. So you could bring them down to BR1 with either PPD-34s or like a bolt action. And that was really overpowered because in their supply box they would get DP-27s and in the case of the Axis soldiers MG-34s when you took the machine gunner loadout, which was incredibly overpowered, especially more so after they changed that BR1 doesn't see BR3 anymore. Well, if you're bringing these pay-to-win paratroopers, you were then getting BR3 weapons in a BR1 game and it was absolutely busted. Thankfully, this is not the case anymore. Now that's a bit of a sad thing as a person who uses them because it's like, oh, it's being nerfed. But it's better for the game, and I didn't buy those paratroopers with the intention of them being overpowered pay to win with these weapons that they shouldn't get. There was also a similar thing happening with the Soviet ones. If you took them to BR3, no matter what, you would get AVS-36 snipers, which the AVS is a select fire rifle that you can use with the scope or with the iron sights if you aim from the shoulder, and that was incredibly overpowered in BR3 as well because BR3 doesn't see BR5 anymore, and fully automatic select fire rifles are the most powerful weapons in the game, so getting those from your box at BR3 was pretty broken. It's really nice to see. I won't be talking specifically about each box, but I do agree with every loadout in all the boxes. I think it looks completely fine to me. I don't think they need changing. I think honestly doing anything with them... Oh, it also works for the Italians and the British supply boxes also have unique boxes, so fully on board with this change. It's a great change. Moving away from pay to win apart from the Fedorov MG in this patch is good. That was the only complaint I really have about this patch, is the Fedorov MG doesn't need more buffs, especially after you made it pay to win and then removed it from the store, forcing people to buy it. And then when you bring it back in the future, everybody be like, oh my god, the OP Fedorov MG, we've got to buy that pay-to-win squad. That's a really bad look. And I would say generally this game isn't pay-to-win. It undoubtedly does have pay-to-win features. The effect of them is minimal though, but you can't say this game is 0% pay-to-win because of stuff like buying extra squad slots, buying overpowered squads such as the Fedorov MG or the Type A LMG paratroopers, or the F-80A jet, which allows you to cycle. Like, being able to cycle overpowered vehicles and overpowered weapons and gaining access to things that players who don't pay cannot get access to, especially when those things are undoubtedly better than the tech tree versions, is pay to win, but by an amount that it's not really enough to claim the game is pay to win. But doing things like that is not a good look, because people can say, oh, there's a Fedorov MG squad. If you play against Soviets, they're paying to win. So, like, I would probably go back on some of that. I would probably just put that squad back in the shop or put it back up to BR5. I really don't think that a squad equipped all with Fedorovs needs to be in BR4. Anyway, last thing for these making Enlisted a better place number 69, we appreciate your feedback. Lots of exciting game mechanics have been realized or improved upon thanks to your ideas. We are watching our communities, other Enlisted sites, and regularly check the forum for your feedback and reports. So share, suggest, and report. This is great. This is one of the most exciting updates in a long time, and it's so many simple things like just buffing the weapons, making the FG42 better, fixing the squad XPs, adding a new match. Like this is a great update. I don't know if this is out now or what exactly that's going to be, but dude, this is awesome. This is great. As well as yesterday we had the transparency sitrep, which I'm not making a video on because I think I talked too long about it. It's not like a short enough video. I felt like it was not enough value, but I think an excited reaction to this is like a good value. This should be a short video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.